it was like 83% of students, I think, said that they were shocked to get a task, an assignment in the very first session, that they weren't expecting it. And some of them I think are still a bit shell-shocked, but I read some of the end-of-year reflections. Some of them are still like, we had to do this task right at the beginning. It's obviously stuck with some of them as an experience. But they all felt that the amount of time that they'd been given was just right. It didn't interfere with the start of teaching, so it wasn't taking their focus away from essays and other things that was going on. And they had all the information that they needed at each time. So it took that kind of box had been ticked. Time on task, again, that related to the timetable that they were given in that information pack, where it said, you know, week 1 you need to do these things, week 2 you're going to do those things. Again, that was all positive feedback, that they were quite happy that they knew what they needed to do, when they needed to do it, etc. Communicate high expectations was quite a tricky one, because I wasn't really sure how I would assess that. But at the end of the question, I did the standard, you know, any other comments capturing question. And quite a few of the students said it made me feel like a student at the beginning, exactly what we'd been hoping to do. You know, the fact that it made me feel like a student because I could go and ask questions with a focus. I wasn't just one of the herd sitting in the library getting the induction lecture thinking I have no clue what this relates to. And I kind of have interpreted that to link in with that high expectations thing. Now, I was giving them something to do and I expected them to be scholarly about it, and they felt scholarly. So that's how I've kind of interpreted that. I'm probably open to kind of other interpretations.
But in an accessible medium?
Yes. Yeah.
Because there was already a lot of knowledge they're bringing to the table, isn't there, about the nature of making video?
In some of the ones, well, it links into the next one really, that they felt scholarly and they'd felt challenged, but they'd also felt comfortable because they were placing it in their strengths.
Yes.
So right from that very first conversation they had with someone, when they said, "Oh yeah, I've got real need to writing, or I'm quite good at drawing," that I've been able to follow through. And although they'd done something perhaps new, perhaps challenging, they'd still had that central familiarity, that central kind of point that they felt comfortable with. And the reflections at the end of the year, when I've said in one of the questions in there, can you think back to induction week? What are your thoughts, your memories, your recollections of induction week? And most of them have said, we had the video task. Quite a few of them said I didn't enjoy it, but it made me work with people quicker than I would have. And for that reason, I can see the benefits of it. And when I asked the students, do you think I should do it again? They all said yes. Obviously, it's sharing the.
Yes, I'd say they want. They want others to feel the pain, don't they? Yes.
I mean, they made some good suggestions about ways of improving it and revising it. Mostly practical things to do with group sizes and access to rooms and stuff like that. But they all felt good about it. And from my perspective, the only thing that I wasn't really expecting, but was such a benefit, they all referenced stuff. Because I teach the very, very first module. It's quite a short module, and we build the study skills around that, and so I mark it and they get it back really quickly. So I'm used to having that haggard look kind of about halfway through October when I've marked these papers, and I'm sure I mentioned referencing it at some point. Surely they could have, they'd all done something, but which was stupidly, I hadn't thought that would happen, you know. I thought they'd kind of put that in isolation. So we're really pleased. And we are taking it on to next year, so it's happening again with some minor revisions, and we'll still be able to evaluate it out and hopefully get some of that data. So things around, did more students make contact with faculty than previously, and we'll be able to have a bit more data around that. So thank you for listening. I really